You have the power to make your world better. But this fight is mine.
Standing on business, ready for a kiss. It's the sweetest victory.
Let's go out there, YouTube land and also social media lands. Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a newer film that just came out on the 20th of September, and is a origin story of an animated series that started back in the early 80s. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Patreon, Threads. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a newer film that came out in September, and is a origin story of a great animated cartoon series that started back in the early 80s called Transformers 1. Yeah, Transformers 1. Yeah, Transformers 1. Yeah. So Transformers 1, like I said, is kind of the origin story of the Autobots and Decepticons. Kind of what drew Optimus and Megatron apart from each other. Supposedly they were best friends to begin with. And kind of that slew of what happened to led to this, immaculate battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and kind of their points of view and where they go the way they do kind of deal. And in CGI form, it's probably the first animated film of Transformers in 40 years. And it was kind of so people were so used to kind of the live action films and stuff like that. I'm sure this film wasn't getting a whole bunch of yeah, I kind of want to see that, but I'm kind of transformed out type of deal, with just Rise of the Beast just coming out last year. And, a lot of people I feel weren't really into this, when they first found out it was coming out. But after seeing it, I'm really shocked at, how poorly this film did in theaters. Because it really, truly is a really great film. Now, a lot of the people that produced the live-action Transformers films were producers on this, were executive producers and stuff like that. I mean, they had a great director, they had great voice actors, and they had a really decent storyline that was really cool because it included a lot of what characters that we were introduced to in a lot of the live-action films, too, as well. So I thought that was really fun, and I thought that really brought the film together and made it very enjoyable. Now, to start us off, of course, is the director of this film that brought us this film, and that is none other than Mr. Josh Cooley. Oh yeah, Josh Cooley, woo, Josh Cooley, yeah! So Josh Cooley is a, director. He's been a part of DreamWorks, he's been a part of Pixar, he's been a part of many, many different franchises. He's been writer, he's been, storyboard artist and all that kind of stuff, and just is a really awesome director. He has done a lot of great things in the different, different places, and has really brought and really come to become a really great director as well, because he doesn't have a lot of actual theatrical directorial debuts or directorial kind of theater release wise, but overall what he has done has been really fantastic, really well done. And just overall, I think he has a really great eye for giving us really fun, which can be very comical, very action-y, can be very, endearing, all those great qualities that make a movie really entertaining. Now, Josh Cooley, he really brought, I thought, a lot of greatness to this film. I loved the direction he took it in. I liked how he played it out. And I really thought that he had a really great eye for giving us that humor along with the action, along with the storyline, and kind of the empathy and the the kind of the dramatic elements to the film as well. And he had a good balance of all of them throughout the film. He directed everyone very well too, as into doing the voiceovers for the film, along with the animation being really on point, along with the voiceover work. And I was really just amazed by that, and how well they conceived this film and gave this really well-rounded film. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Josh Cooley has directed, definitely a film to check out of his, and is his directorial debut actually on the big screen, and is a Pixar film called Toy Story 4. Yeah! Toy Story 4. Yeah! So, Josh Cooley directed the fourth Toy Story film, and I just remember thinking he did such a great job with the film. Did I care too much for the ending? But overall, the film itself was really good and a great, part of the great, Toy Story universe. And I loved what Josh Cooley did with that film. I love that he gave us all these great elements of a Toy Story film. Great comedy, great dramatic elements, the great animation, direction, everything about it was just really fun. And I just really enjoyed what Josh did with that. And he really showed that he has a really great eye for taking animation and making it very much like a live-action film in its, process. And I think that he had a great eye for just giving us this really complicated story that just was mapped out so well, and that's what he did with Toy Story 4, giving us this really kind of new, fresh start to the franchise and kind of leading it into another, several possible films down the road. And I just thought that it really showed his talent and how great of a director was, and he directed it really well. If you haven't seen anything Josh Cooley has directed, definitely check out Toy Story 4 for his directing. He did a really phenomenal job. But overall, I really enjoyed what he did with Transformers 1. I thought he gave us a really great origin story that was very interesting, very different, and overall, I just think he had a really great mindset and just way of wanting to bring this film to life that was super entertaining and just super fun. If you haven't seen anything Josh Cooley has directed, definitely go check out Transformers 1 in theaters now. He did a really great job. So this movie has a really great voice cast. All of them provided really great voices. The one thing I was sad about is that Peter Cullen didn't come back to portray Optimus Prime's character. And, I get that they were trying to go a different direction. It's supposed to be an origin story and stuff like that. But still, I think that it would have made the film even better if they had had Peter Cullen voicing his character again. But overall, I think that who they got for the voice roles all did a really good job, and I enjoyed them. They all did great. I thought that they all worked really well together, and I just thought overall that they all did really great performances. Now, to start us off is none other than Orion Pax himself, aka Optimus Prime, and that is voiced by Mr. Chris Hemsworth. Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Woo, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. So Chris Hemsworth, he actually portrays Optimus Prime, aka Orion Pax, which is his name before he becomes an Optimus Prime. And I guess in the Transformers world, if you are not familiar with this, pretty much all the Optimus Primes were a person before they became a Prime. So Optimus actually had a different name prior to being Optimus Prime, which I think is kind of interesting. But overall, when it comes to what Chris Hemsworth did with the character, I think he did a decent job. I like that he was trying to kind of suppress his Aussie accent a little bit throughout the film. I thought that was interesting that he was trying to be more like American with his accent as he's playing the character. Definitely still came through, but overall I think that he was trying to not be as strong of an Australian accent for the character. And I thought that he did a decent job. I liked what he brought to it. I felt, like I was close to the character. And I thought Chris did a great job of just giving us a heartfelt performance that I think, made Peter Cullen happy. And I think that his voiceover just worked really well, too, for the character because it really brought a really great kind of, heartfelt presentation to the character. You actually felt for him. You felt like he was a real person, that type of deal, and I just really enjoyed that, and I thought that Chris did a great job. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Chris has been in, definitely something to check him out in that he just did a phenomenal job in, and I just really enjoy him in this film, and he just was so amazing. It was one of his first kind of big dramatic roles, and I think that he doesn't get enough credit for how good he was in this film. And that, of course, the film called In the Heart of the Sea. Yeah! In the Heart of the Sea. Yeah! So not familiar with this film, this is the true story of what inspired Herman Melville's Moby Dick. This was an actual occurrence that happened back in the 1800s, where this ship was attacked by a rogue sperm whale. And basically the film shows you what happened to this crew, what they dealt with, dealing with this, giant whale, and what they had to do. And Chris Hemsworth plays one of the characters. He plays one of the first mates on the ship. And I just thought he did such a fantastic job. Really showed his great dramatic elements, that he was good at doing dramatic acting. It really showed that he had some different character versus just being Thor or, providing any other kind of macho type of, character kind of persona. And it really showed that he was willing to go to lengths to make himself look so inebriated and so, being that same character and what he had to deal with being on the water for so many days without any food and water and, basically starving to death. He did a great job of bringing that to life, too, as well for the film. And I just thought that Chris did a great job with that character, really showed his acting chops, and just overall was a really fantastic performance. If you haven't seen Chris Hemsworth or anything, definitely check out In the Heart of the Sea. He did a phenomenal job. But overall, I really enjoyed him in Transformers 1. I thought he did a great voiceover of Orion Pax, aka Optimus Prime, and I enjoyed it. I thought he did a great job, and overall, he did a great service to Peter Cullen, and I thought he just was a decent choice for the character. If you haven't seen Chris Hemsworth or anything recently, go check him out in Transformers 1. He was phenomenal. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about that voiced over this film. And that is none other than the main female Autobot in this film, Miss Alita, and who was voiced by Miss Scarlett Johansson. Oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson, woo! Scarlett Johansson, woo! So Scarlett Johansson, who is just an amazingly beautiful woman that has captivated us in several different roles over the years, from playing, Black Widow to her, new debut in Under the Skin, to, Ain't Like a Freaks, to many of films that she's been in. She is just a really great actress. And she has done a lot of great roles. It's been very different roles for her. There's been several that she's well known for, being, basically Black Widow. But, she did films like The Score and Rough Night and stuff like that, which are very different types of, different genres. But overall, she has a really great eclectic, career that has shown all different types of sides of her acting. And I think that she brought a real great, fun to her character in this film. I liked her as Alita. I thought she did a good job giving us really great kind of interactions with, Optimus and the other characters and stuff like that. I thought that she did her usual Scarlett Johansson type of isms with her voiceovers and stuff like that in the film. And she just really gave a decent performance that I thought was really enjoyable. Now, if you haven't seen anything Scarlett Johansson has been in, definitely a film to check out, which came out this year, is a great film that's, kind of loosely based on the moon landing, called Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah! Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah! So Fly Me to the Moon, like I said, just came out this year, and is, like I said, loosely based on the moon landing, but basically it's what if the moon landing was faked, in case the actual moon landing didn't happen type of deal. And I absolutely loved Scarlett Johansson in this. I thought she was super fantastic as a character. She was on point. She was very, her character was very kind of irritating, but at the same time, you couldn't help but like her and love her. And I loved her interactions in her process with all the different characters throughout the film, especially Channing Tatum. And I thought that overall she really showed some great acting chops in this film and some great comedy that I really feel I haven't really seen from her before. And I just thought that she overall did a decent job with the character and really made her very enjoyable and fun for this film. If you haven't seen Scarlett Johansson or anything, definitely check her out in Fly Me to the Moon. She did a really great job. But overall, I liked her as a leader in Transformers 1, and I think overall, she just was a really great addition to that voice cast. If you haven't seen her recently, go check her out in theaters now. See her in Transformers 1. She did a really great job. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about that did a voiceover for this film. And that is none other than Bumblebee in this film himself, Mr. Keegan-Michael Key. Oh yeah, Keegan-Michael Key. Woo, Keegan-Michael Key, yeah. Oh my gosh, Keegan-Michael Key in this film was absolutely freaking hilarious. Him as Bumblebee, where he cannot shut up, is so stinking funny. Especially if you're very familiar with that, Bumblebee doesn't have a voice, in the Transformers series. You know, his voice modulator was, you know, damaged. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. And I love how they have it where he's just a non-stop talker in this origin story. And Keegan did a great job of giving us that life and so many great one-liners throughout this whole entire film. He was absolutely on point for this character. He was actually my favorite character because he just was so damn funny. And there's some great one-liners where he's like, am I talking too much? Am I talking too much? I can stop talking. I don't have to talk. I just don't have very many people I get to talk to. And you know, he just goes like super crazy, and it's absolutely freaking hilarious because the first time you meet him, he's stuck down in this like sub-level 3000 or something like that. I forget how many levels they have, but it's like one of the last levels where there's like an incinerator, and he's stuck down there with nobody down there but himself and these parts that he's turned into robots. And it's absolutely freaking hilarious, and Keegan just did a great job of bringing that to life and giving a solid performance that I can't get over. It's just so much fun. Now, if you haven't seen Keegan-Michael Key in anything, definitely something to check him out in that I think is one of my favorite, one of his roles, and I think it's super funny, is a great film that came out a few years ago called Hell Baby. Yeah! Hell Baby. Yeah! He's absolutely freaking hilarious in this film. He plays kind of one of the main characters that comes in and out of the film, and he is just absolutely freaking hilarious. And in this film, he just really shows how great his improv skills are, and I just absolutely love that because it really showed like kind of his essence from when he's doing Key and Peele and stuff like that. He is such a great comedian. I absolutely love him in anything he does because he's super freaking funny and just does a great job. And he brought that with Bumblebee in this film, and it just was so freaking fantastic. And I absolutely loved it in Hell Baby too. He just really brought that really well to the film. If you haven't seen Hell Baby, definitely check it out for Keegan-Michael Key's performance. He was really freaking funny. But overall, fantastic job in Transformers 1. He was so great, so enjoyable, and so great to have as Bumblebee because he just really rocked it. If you haven't seen him recently, go check him out in Transformers 1 now. He was phenomenal. So what is Transformers 1 about? Basically, the premise of the story is it basically shows the evolution of Megatron and Optimus Prime from their origin, you know, prior to them becoming enemies, and kind of their friendship and what happens that leads to them becoming enemies, and that their two kind of Autobots and Decepticon kind of groups become enemies as well, and kind of their origin story and how to become who they are. It's a really great film, really well done, great animation, great soundtrack, great voiceovers. Everything about this film was just really well done. I mean, it's good as the original, you know, 85 or 86, sorry, you know, animated film. It was really fun and really well done. A great origin story to give us a thought process on what and where the Transformers came from, and I think it's just a really solid, great entry into the Transformers franchise. If you have not seen it yet, go check it out in theaters now. Worth the watch. Great sequences throughout this whole entire film. Great music, lots of great action, and great comedy as well, brought to you by all the voiceovers in this film. And just, it's a really solid film. Check it out now. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up. Can't wait to add this to the collection. Can't wait to see it again. It is a really superb film. Go check it out now, people. It's worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out any older new videos if you haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, if you want to show support for the channel, please check out my awesome Patreon page. We get all kinds of extra accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel. Outtakes, bloopers, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out. Help support the channel. As always, catch you in the next one.